Today I would like to talk about STATA. Now, if you're well aware, you realize that STATA is one of those statistical softwares that you use when you're trying to do complex calculations as well as complex econometrics or statistics. So this is usually used by econometricians, statisticians, as well as other statistical tools that you'd like to use when you're trying to analyze data. So I will just skip the part where you install STATA 14 or any version of STATA and go directly to running it because I already have it on my laptop. So as you can see, I pinned it to the taskbar. So it's easy for me to just run it. So this is how the interface of STATA looks like. So if you look clearly, you find that there are many windows. There's a command window here, which is quite clear. The command window, you can write your commands. Yeah, so you can write commands, and these commands are usually simple. The command is basically executable words, if you will, that you run in any type of programming software or programming ID. It depends on sophistication and how you can define that. How you can define the command. So there's a command window, there's a variables window. For the variables window, you see that there's a name of the variable as the label. And you have the properties window. This will give you the properties of the variable. So it's a name, label, type, format, value label, and not. So you better look at the type and format as well. For the command review window, you're basically trying to review the commands, whether they are correct or not. So if they are not correct, they'll turn up as red. If they're correct, they'll turn up as black. And then you have the results window. That's where all the results are turn out to be, and you're going to be able to see the results of whatever you're doing. And then there are tabs. So in the tab, you have file, edit, data, menus, graphic menus, statistics, user, windows, and as well as help. So as you can see, the window menu has all the windows here. some which I've not actually talked about, but they are there as well. There's a two-file editor where you edit all your commands and you can be able to run them on the go in one piece as well as save those commands. There's a graph as well as the graph window, which will show you the graph as well as there's a help window. It's not here, but then it's there, so that when you type HE, it usually comes out. That's a short for help. If I say HE edit, it means I'm saying it help me to find out more about edit. So if I say HE edit, you have a window here. Yeah, so this is your window. So it tells you everything about the command edit. So edit, it's to browse, it helps to browse or edit data with a data editor. So using data editor, you can edit valist if in with the nullable option. So after comma, there are these options. So same thing. So it also gives you the similar commands. There's browse command, which is very similar to edit. So it's very important that you read this because if you read it, you'll be able to understand what is going on. So description, it brings up a spreadsheet style data editor for entering new data and editing existing data. Edit is a better alternative to input. CD input. Browser is similar to edit, except that modifications to the data by editing grid are not permitted. So there's a browse option and then there's an edit option. So for instance, let's do browse. What comes up? You see, well, you type browse and then you enter, you find that a database format sheet has come, so that you have your columns, you have your rows, and then you can be able to enter data if it was possible, but the browse window means you can't edit that. For instance, if I try to double click here and I try to enter, I'm trying to type here, nothing is happening. You see? So what do we do instead? I can close this window and then instead of browse, I'll type in the edit command. All right. Yeah, I'm having a technical glitch here. All right, just wait a little bit. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, let me type the edit button, edit command. Okay, you see it's almost the same thing as the browse command in that it has brought you the database format, but then there are differences here because here you can edit. For instance, I can start to say male, uh, female, male. So as you can see, the entries are coming in. It means that I'm having data come in. Female, female. So I have 5 entries. And not only that, I can actually edit this. Uh, I can insert a variable here if I want. A variable name, I can say. Let me close that. I can edit the variable name. Standard. It's a string variable, right? So string is usually red in color. Right? And then I can add that variable here. I see like a set variable. Instead of float, I want it to be integer. So let's say age. Okay. Age of respondent. As you can see, it's almost like Excel, only that it's a little bit different. So saying on the main tab, okay, something happened. I don't know what that was. Okay, I'll just go straight to, so it's automatic. Okay, the string. Okay, I can add a variable here. I think I can. Right. Okay, so we have two variables, gender and age. Right. So you see what has happened here? Whichever command I was doing, whatever changes I was doing next, instead, you find that review window was bringing in changes to it. So if I was replacing a variable somewhere or I was renaming it, it was doing that. You see, for example, here, rename var to age. So usually what STATA does is whatever action you do in the using interface buttons, it will do the same in Okay, so as I was saying, whatever you do in the interface buttons, the same will be done using commands in your results window as well as in the web window. So we have two variables, it's gender as well as age. As you can see here, the variables window now has the same. If I click here, you find that the properties window will show you the properties of that particular variable. So to do more, I also like to introduce you to another command. It's called summarize. So I'll do HE summarize so that I can read the syntax. So you see summarize, summary statistics. If I put a detail option, we display additional statistics, right? So you have all the statistics, and then you have the examples. This use auto summarize, summarize MPG weight, summarize it for all foreign, and you know. Okay, let's try to do something of that nature. So we say summarize gender. What happens? Okay, so this is a string variable, so nothing happens. I think the same thing with age. It's also a string variable. Let me see. The shortcut for summarize is sum. So you can say sum age. Oh, it is not a string variable. It's an integer. So the 5 observation, the mean is 15.8. That's the mean age. So the mean age for the respondents is 15.8 years. So you can round it up to 16 years. The standard deviation is 2.86 years, and the minimum is 12, the maximum is 19, right? So let's try that again. So let's try some age detail. Now it brings even more. So it gives you the percentiles. So apart from the standard deviation and the mean, it gives you the variance, the skewness, as well as the kurtosis, right? Then we can even go further. We can say some age, gender, if male. Okay, male not found, right? All right. So what we'll do here is we'll do HE capstat. Okay. So we'd like to look at these particular details, but then we'd like to differentiate them we'd like to differentiate them by gender. So we can also use the command we call topstat. So say topstat something by foreign, right? Then you can specify the details. Does someone have the same thing? Yeah. So basically, you can do the same for topstat, but then we're looking at the mean or statistics, but depending on uh, the gender that you have. So the male gender has a slightly higher mean than the female gender, because the male gender has 16. This one is 15.6 or 15.7 to be rounded up. But then the total mean is 15.8. So the deviation is how much? But we can even have more statistics. So we look at the options. So you have by statistics options. Label with do not auto missing, no separator, no stop, as well as save. And then we have statistics. So you can include stats, mean, marks, and whatnot. So let's do that. Control C. There you go. So when it starts, you're going to need subdivision minimum of dot max. There you go. As you can see, you have more statistical descriptive statistics. So these are what are known as descriptive statistics. And they're trying to show you summary statistics that actually encapsulate the mean, the spread, as well as the tendency towards central tendency. It's called central tendency. So, for instance, the mean, I'm showing you in you the aggregate average towards the central point. Well, these ones, minimum and maximum, is just showing you the spread, like the spread of the statistics. What's the minimum, what's the maximum, and you can see the difference, and then be able to see how much the frequency in the deviation was. So the standard deviation as well is the same thing. It's just trying to show you the spread as well. All right, for now, this is just the summary. Hello, Mr. Ashinafi. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. All right. I will post this video. I just did a short one, and I believe you didn't actually see everything that I was doing. This is just like an introduction to STATA. So whatever I've done here, I can actually save it. So for instance, the data I have, gender, age, I'll type edit. This is what I have, so I can save it. So when I'm trying to save it, it brings me a pop-up window where I can save it. So as you can see, STATA is also quite sufficient in dealing with data, from data entry up to data analysis and even reporting. But then it depends on what you're using it for, because sometimes for data entry, you use other softwares. For analysis, you use STATA. Okay, so it's a little slow. Okay, let's say, so I've saved my data. I can close the pop-up window. As for my commands, I have not saved anything, but I can create a simple do file just to save the data. So I'll go to Window, do file editor, new do file editor. Now, what I can do is I can just copy everything. You can copy everything. The good thing about STATA is it's actually quite forgiving. As you can see, there's some things that, like this table, I can remove them because I don't need them. I don't need the tables. In my do file, I don't need the errors as well. So for the errors, I'll put a star. And asterisk or a star means that the STATA doesn't read it. So it's quite convenient. Or you don't want something to disturb your do file. So all these I have to put asterisks. Okay, so I'll just try to run the do file, so you can see how it's done. So for the save, let's see what I do here. So here I'll write save or replace, because the replace option means that if it's already there in your directory of files, what happens is it replaces it instead of bringing up an error. Okay, this one was an error, so I have to remove it. Okay, I can see if this is different. Okay, now that this is done, what I'll do is I'll clear everything. So I'll clear all the data. So if I say clear all, here's what happens. Everything is cleared. You have no variables here, no properties, except for this, it's still there. But then, yeah, I've cleared everything. So I can run my do file again just to run everything and see what happens. Yeah, we've run into an error. But as you can see, it has run everything and has brought you a gender variable and the original variables that we have. That's because if you run the do file, everything comes back again. Everything is run all at once. So for the error in our do file, that means that I just have to correct it. So I'll go to the do file editor, generate int. Where is it? Here. That means I have to remove this one. All right. We also have another error. I think that's because I did not clear all. So I'm going to clear all and start again. Success. So here, label variables age of respondent, variable of not found. Okay, that means there's something wrong with our syntax. So here we have to change this into a string. So change it to a string and put quotation marks. Okay, and then let's run it. Let's see what happens. Just run this command alone. Age of respondent, invalid name. All right. If that's the case, we can actually remove this. So it doesn't disturb the flow of our file. Okay. That's the job. The do file is actually harder than anything else. So summary for variables, this is not a command. This is not a command. That means it has to be removed. Okay, this one is not a command, so remove it. Apart from the straight, you can also use what is known as 3 forward slashes. Mhm. There you go. Let's clear all and then start again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first successful do file. There you go. Everything is saved. Everything is kosher. Everything is okay. We have our gender here, our age variables, everything, all the data, all the summary statistics, all the descriptive statistics. Now, this is just a beautiful, 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 beautiful state analysis, or rudimentary state analysis, I should say. So we have saved everything in the do file. But then apart from saving in the do file, you can also save in what is known as a do file. And a do file actually has, you're trying to be more interactive, and a do file is usually used for creating small like methods in Stata. So you see here, there's an do file. You can save it as an do file. So I think we're gonna cover this one later. And yeah, these are the most prominent types of files that you see in Excel. The do files as well as the do files. All right, I think I should stop here. If there are any questions, that means you can ask. But I think I'm stopping here for now. To test. Hello. All right, I am closing the meeting. We'll talk later.